My name is Beto Vargas, and I am a musician, artist, and a music producer and composer. And I live here in Los Angeles, but I'm originally from Bogota, Colombia.
¿Cómo decirte que la vida sin ti no vale nada? No, no, no.
I grew up in Colombia for most of my life, and I studied music in Colombia, and I always had both being an artist, but I also really loved music production and engineering and everything that goes into recording of music. I had the opportunity to go to Berkeley, which was a big dream for me, so I studied a lot of production, but I always did my music on the side. And then when I graduated, I got the opportunity to go to Los Angeles, and I moved out here back in 2012. I worked some great studios here in LA. I met a lot of great people, had an opportunity as a producer to work with a lot of great big artists. But as the time went through, I realized that I had left my real passion, performing and playing my music behind. So I decided to start working on my album, and that's how Huellas started. And years later, I'm just really happy to be finally releasing it and sharing it with the world.
Quiero decirte todo lo que siento.
The title says Huellas, basically means footprints. That's what it is. It's the footprints of my life. It's the different experiences and the different influences that I've had in music throughout my life. Different loves that I encountered through life, different experiences that inspired me from other people as well. The transition from one city to another, from one life to another, leaving your family behind, meeting new people. That became the footprints of my life, and that's what this album really is about. It used to be normal to go walk on the street and see somebody twirling their partner around and receiving them in the airport with flowers and doing certain. We've kind of lost touch of that, because it's not that cool anymore. So this album is also trying to just remind people that it's okay to be romantic, it's okay to follow your heart and say what you feel, and however way that is for you, with your art, with your music, with your words. I just like that it's kind of like a representation of that. My first album, I just always had this vision of doing something in Spanish. I grew up in Colombia, it's my native tongue, so I always wanted to do that. But lately, I'm actually writing a lot of new material in English. So what's coming next? The core of my music is rock and roll. I grew up listening to Eric Clapton and Beatles and Stones because my dad used to listen to that a lot. But then I'm a 90s guy, so I have a lot of influences from the 90s. Bon Jovi, Third Eye Blind, all that rock and punk rock and all that era. Basically, I would say my music is kind of a mix of classic rock and pop rock, modern pop rock, I guess. There's something very magical about seeing an artist develop and seeing an artist grow, and them coming in with just a guitar and a vocal, a melody and a song, and you being able to just imagine and craft everything else around it. The drums, the bass, the guitars, maybe horns, maybe strings, maybe all this stuff, and just seeing that first day that you heard the song, this artist singing to you, and then seeing the final product and seeing their face when they see oh my God, this is just what I wanted in my mind. That just makes it all worth it.